All right, we're back. Another week of Tabletop Adventures. Last time, we left our adventurers in a kind of precarious situation. They are, or I guess I should say, Pervance is trying to infiltrate a pub where the Red Brand thieves who are terrorizing town are sort of holed up. And the way that she's doing this is they've kind of hoarded, these thieves, they've hoarded all the ale in town, and Pervance has disguised himself as a ale delivery man. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and apparently when Pervance uses the keyword murder, Hogger is going to come crashing in and resolve the situation in a typical Hogger way.
From the rear.
Lila and Andri, meanwhile, hiding, pretending to be ale inside of the wagon.
Awesome. Yes, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to shortchange you guys. Mm-hmm.
It's a Trojan horse.
Trojan horse. Yeah. No, I think this is this is by far the best plan you guys have had.
It's the only plan we've ever had.
Yeah.
Elephant is challenge rating 4.
As you have seen, we have a new player with us. I'm very excited about. He really, really wanted to do this, and it was tough to get him in.
I'm excited.
When we were in the cave, and it probably just would have added even more chaos. But now that we're in town, it's going to be awesome. I'm going to sort of let the other players resolve this sort of infiltration scenario, and then once we do, Max will show up and we'll get him in the group. But Max, it's great to have you here. Tell us a little bit about your character.
Do I say my name, or do I have to roleplay the name part?
I mean, say your character name, yeah.
Okay. My character's name is Taylor DeSwift, and he is an alchemist, level 2, and he is a sage. His alignment is chaotic good, and he's an elf, and he's very wise.
So, I kind of went a little nuts with your character, and because an alchemist doesn't exist in the 5th edition book.
Whoa.
So I went back to 3.5 and saw the alchemist there, and the things that I liked, I kept. The things that I didn't like, I made up. So you have a few potions on you, most of which are entirely made up. So one of them is Sunrod. It's this large, thick, heavy black stick that when you snap the end of it, it glows a really bright orange that illuminates 30 feet.
Another flare,
Sunrod,
magic flare.
Yeah, like
Can you brand people?
That's a level 0 alchemic
first
thing.
question.
No, you can't burn people.
You brand
burn their eyes. Sorry, that is a great question. The next one, I don't have a name for it, but it's a glowing neon blue potion that when you drink it or you throw it at something, they glow blue. So you can either use it to mark enemies or you can use it again for more illumination.
Blue goo.
It is now affectionately referred to as blue goo. The next spell is called Chalk, and this one I went a little nuts with.
Okay.
When you drink Chalk, anyone that drinks Chalk, their view of the world is suddenly distorted. Everything is grayscale and a little bit hazy. If you've ever seen the race in Lord of the Rings, when you're in the Wraith world, it kind of looks like that. Cool. So what it is you can suddenly create words with your mind. You can create, and you can communicate with your mind. And basically what it is like if I was to think the word hello, it would appear in the air, out of the ether.
Only if you've drunk
Only if you drink it. So if you're sneaking into a place, or let's say you want to communicate vital information, you could be like, hey, Lilia, drink this potion, and as long as you both drink it, you can communicate this way without using any body language or vocal stuff.
But there's like an actual physical range, right? So the words would appear, and you would actually have to physically see those words while you're in the Wraith world.
No. So the way that it works is if you want Lilia to see it, you are not concerned with time or space. Even if you are at the other ends of the world, as long as you both have drank the potion, you can see it. So it's kind of crazy.
Wacky.
Yeah,
How much of that stuff do we have?
He has one potion of it. I'll get there. I'll get there. It's the more offensive potion it's just acid. So when you it's a lot less creative. But when you throw it at an enemy and it damages them, you do 1d6 damage, and then the next round, and it doesn't kick in until the next round, it does an extra 1d4 of damage. So it has a little bit more persistent effect than most things. Now the final potion is not as crazy as Chalk, but it's interesting. It's called Smelling Salts, and I kind of made this more powerful than it's supposed to be. You guys seem to go unconscious a lot. So what smelling salts does is, if you are unconscious and you are exposed to the smelling salts, you are suddenly up and ready to fight. However,
Put me down for some of those.
I know.
if
That's
you
what we
are
have.
in the process of rolling to see whether you live or die, it has the same effect. However, you must within 24 hours either rest or receive some sort of healing. If you don't, you will fall back unconscious after 24 hours. So it's basically what it is. The smell gets into your nose and it fucks with your brain. It's basically like a drug that it's sort of masking the pain.
Skooma.
And if you're unconscious but stable, it's strong enough that it wakes you up. Does that make sense?
So, crystal meth slinger. Yeah.
But if I die again, that's gonna be it, right? I can't be smelling
So
salted twice.
if you're dead,
Yeah.
if you are dead, you can't. Smelling salts has no effect.
Okay.
It's only unconsciousness that
Sure.
it affects. Now, Max, you have also 2 potions of cure wounds,
Great.
which you can distribute or use on yourself as you see fit. Now, you have enough components in your pouch on your person right now to make 2 level 0 spells and 1 level 1 spell. And I'm saying spell, but I mean potion. So you can either make another burn acid or another smelling salt, and you can make 2 more of the other 3.
Okay.
Also cure wounds is another option if you need to
Okay,
make another one of those.
So, how do I actually put it together? Is it just like, hey, I want to put a potion together? Does it require some time? Does it require a roll? Or do I just like
Definitely.
potion?
So each potion, because they're not like super high level, each potion takes an hour to make.
Okay.
It depends. Like, I might have to bend that a little bit because I think, especially with your experience, you should be able to make some things quickly, especially if you have the components, but I haven't quite figured that out yet. Yes, and I also have an idea about how we're going to handle him getting more components, but we don't have to go into that right now. We need to get started on the adventure. Does anyone else have any questions about Max's character? Oh, you didn't say your backstory, the most important thing. Yeah, tell us why
my
you're here.
backstory. Well, I am a scholar in the School of Alchemy, and my whole journey is to find the Philosopher's Stone, but not in the typical, not with the typical reason of trying to find it, like or immortality or trying to turn everything into gold. I'm trying to find the Philosopher's Stone to figure out the mechanics of how the world works. Essentially God's domain. That's what I'm trying to find
Man of
through the
knowledge.
Philosopher's Stone. Yeah. And
I just got kicked out of my house.
and it's they're very grand ambitions.
Noble.
But he's also, because he is so obsessed with trying to find knowledge, he's quite blunt and rude and has no room for social niceties.
We got one of those.
So
Yeah, you'll fit in well.
Yeah.
We all hate
Great.
society.
So
Except for perverts.
Oh, there was one question that you asked that I didn't really address. When you are making these things, I'm not going to say, you have to make it this way with this flask and this liquid. That's up to you. Like, be as descriptive and as visual as you want. Okay,
Cool.
so, Pervance on the wagon with the horse reins in hand, driving toward the pub. You guys are in the barrels. You two are in the
We're
barrels.
in the barrels now?
I thought you were in the barrels hiding.
We're in the wagon.
Hiding under
Yeah,
a
we were
tarp.
on
Oh, you're in the
tarp
wagon,
and
not
you-
necessarily in the barrels.
I have
I'm
my,
sorry.
my bow is
You
drawn.
should be in the barrel.
Okay, I'll be in the
A little
barrel.
extra level
Andrew
of
can be in
security.
Sure. I'm gonna be in a barrel.
Sorry, I just thought you were.
I can't fit in
I
those
didn't mean to
barrels.
assume.
You should be in the barrel.
I can fit in a barrel. It's good.
Hogger, you are
Down the
in
street.
a building about 30 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
Might be a different distance than I said last time. I'm
50
sorry.
you said last time.
50. Look at that memory. Nice. 50 feet away, waiting for the word murder. Pervance, since you are the one that's likely going to make first contact with these thieves, I'm going to describe the scene to you, and then you can act accordingly. So, you roll up to this pub, the Sleeping Giant, and it is dilapidated, decrepit. It is run down. The board, the floorboards are all splintered. There's like mugs with beer dripping out of them, littered on the porch and on the front lawn. The lawn has not been kept up. It's brown. It's dead. It's dead grass, and the shingles on the roof are falling off. And you see 3 thieves sitting on the porch of this pub. They're clearly all drunk. They're all laughing. It's a very like deep drunk laughter, and you can see that they all have leather armor on.
What does a deep drunk laughter sound like?
Sure, it's like it's slurred, like
Do it, Ben.
Give us an
Sure.
audible.
Sure. It's like
Yeah, that paints a picture.
Now I'm in the zone.
Okay.
yeah, pushing me. I like it. All right. So you overhear their conversation. It's grisly. It's not a nice thing that they're talking about. Apparently, that poor innkeeper that you guys met last time has a daughter. And apparently she is being held at this pub, and they're talking about how they had their way with her last night. Doesn't sound good. They're using very foul language, which I will get into in a moment. The one thing I wanted to say before we start really rolling is last week I started making changes to the story. This week I'm just like wildly going in a different direction. So from this point forward, we're only barely referencing the pre-written campaign. From here on out, it's just kind of an original story. If it doesn't work, we can immediately switch back, but I thought this would be more fun. So
We should also mention, for people that didn't realize, that we've all leveled up to 2.
yeah,
We have a
very
little bit
important.
more hit points and some new moves and stuff like that.
Yeah, yes. And we can, as those things are used,
We'll
we can
just use them
explain.
if we use them.
Yeah. Level 2. Thank you, Ian. That was good. All right. Pervance, how do you approach the scene?
Pervance rolls up with the wagon. He stops the wagon in front of the porch. He has his disguise on. He himself is role-playing at this point. He wants to be an assertive presence. He lowers himself from the wagon, and he struts over to the men, and he says, "A yoo-hoo."
Only so setting the scene here. Oh, also, well, we'll get there in a moment. Too many things. So 2 of the thieves are like kind of next to each other on the top stair, and then one thief, who's clearly the most drunk, is like half of his ass is kind of on the bottom stair, half of it's on the ground. He's like kind of sitting, kind of laying down. He's the only one that acknowledges your presence, and he, like, with one eye, he turns to you and he goes, "Oh, that's a fucking halfling. What does this fucking halfling want?"
I don't see any halflings around here. I'm just here to bring the ale. I'm the ale delivery guy.
And the thief turns to his friends. He says, Hey, look at this little shit. Dwarf's got a mouth on him.
Not having it. Not having it.
Well, hang on a minute there, fellas. There's no need for that kind of language. You look a little inebriated, and I'm here to make you even more so. Would you care for some of my ale?
I ain't never met a little shit like this. Why can't you just speak plainly? Are you saying you got some beer?
This is my voice. Would you gentlemen so kindly allow me to bring my wagon around yonder so as to make my delivery?
So one of the 2 thieves that is on the top stair, the one on the right, is the least inebriated, and he sort of has the sense to ask the question. Ale delivery man. Never been an ale delivery man around here before. Where did you come from? This seems awfully suspicious.
Well, I make this delivery every week, so I could ask you the same question,
Okay.
pal.
You are trying, so roll for deceit.
Purvin says +3 deception. This is good. This will be fine.
Which one did I roll? 20?
Yeah. Keep in mind that he's drunk, so.
7.
Plus what?
3.
10.
It's a 10, but it doubles, right?
No, that's not a spell.
No,
Oh,
only
fuck.
Pervin's rule only applies to spells. The thief believes you. He says, "Yeah, I mean we have a lot of ale. It makes sense. I wouldn't fucking give a shit about a halfling anyway, so I probably didn't even notice you.
Ouch.
All right, whatever. Just hurry up. I don't want to waste any more time talking to your kind. Just deliver the ale and go away."
Good one, guys. And then Pervin starts to take the wagon, I guess, around to where they direct him to.
So all they tell you is to go around the back.
Okay.
As you go around the back of the sleeping giant, you see a single back door that is like one of the hinges is loose and it's kind of already a little bit open. You're assuming that's where they want you to take the ale. You don't know what else is inside the sleeping giant.
He whispers back to the wagon. What do we do now?
I was looking through the windows as we were coming around. Did I see anything?
Roll a perception check. I think you're gonna have to roll high for this.
14 total.
You didn't see anything too useful. You just saw really, really, really dirty tables. Like you didn't get a great view of the place.
Okay.
Open the door and announce yourself.
To the people.
Yes, you're doing great. Just keep that up.
Well, should we try to be secretive? Just deliver the ale?
Yeah, just
Quote
deliver the
unquote.
ale. Open the door, announce
Okay.
yourself, keep it up.
Here we go.
You hear no response.
Go in.
No, Pervins, go in.
Go in.
Go in.
Stop knocking. If there's no one there, that's even better.
I pull the door open. Hello.
You hear glass fall from somewhere and shatter. Someone was not expecting you. You hear a really gruff voice, even gruffer than from the thieves you heard outside, and he says, "What was that?"
Just the old ale delivery guy. Where do you want it, pal?
I want it right next to me. I could go for a drink right now.